Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Ragasudha, Assistant Professor in Microbiology, Government City College, Hyderabad, is here to discuss on microbial nutrition. Every organism must find in its environment the substances required for energy generation and cellular biosynthesis. The chemicals and elements of this environment are utilized for growth are referred to as nutrients or nutritional requirements. Like we see, many bacteria can be grown in the laboratory using culture media, which is designed to provide all these essential nutrients in a solution form. While some type of microorganisms like symbionts and parasites are difficult to grow outside their natural host cells. The topic microbial nutrition usually involve three subtopics: nutrient requirement, nutritional types of microorganisms, and uptake of nutrients. Today we will discuss nutritional requirements of microorganisms. What is a nutrient or what are nutrients? These are the substances in the environment used by organism for catabolism or metabolism. Catabolism stands for breakdown of complex molecules into simple ones, and they generate energy in the process. Whereas anabolism build complex molecules from simple ones and require energy for the process. All bacteria have three major nutritional needs for growth: a source for carbon for making cellular constituents, a source of nitrogen for making protein, a source of energy in the form of ATP is required in order to synthesize macromolecules. Smaller amounts of molecules such as phosphate for nucleic acids and iron for enzymatic activities. Nutritional requirements. Microorganisms require about 10 elements in large quantities because they are used to construct carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. Several other elements are needed in very small amount and are part of enzymes and coenzymes. The microbial growth conditions fall into the following four categories. They require macronutrients, micronutrients, growth factors, and environmental factors like temperature, pH, oxygen, etc. Macronutrients. They are required in larger amount. Macronutrients include carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron. Macronutrients comprises about 95% or more of cell dry weight, and these are the major elements. Carbon is used in the main constituents. It's used as a main constituent of cellular material and comprises of 50% of the dry weight. Oxygen constitutes for cell materials and cell water, and it comprises of 20% of the dry weight. It is also used as an electron acceptor in aerobic respiration. And the source of oxygen is obtained from water, some organic compounds, CO2, and oxygen, atmospheric oxygen. Nitrogen constitutes or is a constituent of amino acids, nucleic acids, and coenzymes. The source of nitrogen is obtained from ammonia and nitrates and other organic compounds and atmospheric oxygen. It comprises of 14% of the dry weight. Hydrogen is a main constituent of organic compounds of cell water. The source of hydrogen is from water and other organic compounds and atmospheric hydrogen. It comprises of 8% of the dry weight of the organism. Phosphorus it is a constituent of nucleic acids, nucleotides, phospholipids, lipopolysaccharides, and teichoic acid. It comprises of 3% of the dry weight. Sulfur is used as a constituent for cysteine amino acid, methionine amino acid, glutathione, and several coenzymes. The source of sulfur is inorganic and organic sources, hydrogen sulfide, elemental sulfur, etc. It comprises of 1% of the dry weight. Potassium is a main cellular inorganic cation and a cofactor for certain enzymes. The source of potassium is from potassium salts. It comprises of 1% of the dry weight. Magnesium is an inorganic cellular cation and cofactor for certain enzyme reactions. The source of magnesium is from magnesium salts. It comprises of 0.5% of the dry weight. Calcium is an inorganic cellular cation and a cofactor for certain enzymes, and it is also a component of the endospore. It comprises of 0.5% and the source of calcium is calcium salts. Iron is a component of cytochromes and certain non-heme iron proteins, and it is also a cofactor for certain enzyme reactions. It comprises of 0.5% of the dry weight. Moving on to the second nutrient type of nutrient is micronutrient. These micronutrients are also known as trace elements. Microorganisms require very small amount of these elements such as iron, copper, molybdenum, and zinc. Trace elements are metal ions. They are required by certain cells in such small amount that it is difficult to measure them, and it is not necessary to add them to culture media as nutrients, just like micronutrients. They are present as contaminants of the water and other media components. They are usually cofactors for essential enzymatic reactions in the cells. One organism's trace element may be others' required element and vice versa. Next, moving on to the third type, growth factors. Organisms may require small amount of certain organic compounds for growth, which are not usually synthesized by the organism from the available nutrients. Such compounds are called growth factors. These are required in small amount by cells and as they fulfill certain specific roles in biosynthesis. Absence of growth factors results in blocking or missing a metabolic pathway in a cell. So they are very essential for the growth of a organism. These growth factors are categorized into three types: amino acids, purines and pyrimidines, and vitamins. Amino acids are essential for protein synthesis, purines and pyrimidines for nucleic acid synthesis. Vitamins are small organic molecules that usually make up all or part enzyme cofactors, and only very small amount are required for growth. Some bacteria can synthesize these growth factors with their carbon source, like Escherichia coli. Whereas certain other bacteria like lactobacillus, they require growth factors for their growth to be included in the media. They should be incorporated into the media of growth. Growth factors are assimilated by cells to fulfill their specific role in metabolism. While we look into the vitamins, different types of vitamins like para-aminobenzoic acid, it is a precursor for biosynthesis of folic acid. Folic acid in turn is required for synthesis of thymine, purine bases, serine, methionine, and pantothenate. While B1 thiamine vitamin is used helps in catalyzing transaminase reactions. B12 helps in transfer of methyl groups, whereas B2, riboflavin, and vitamin K acts as coenzymes in electron transport chain. The growth of microorganism depends on adequate supply of suitable nutrients like macronutrients, micronutrients and growth factors. In addition to that, they also require optimum pH, optimum oxygen and optimum temperature for growth. So, based on these environmental conditions, microorganisms are characterized or classified into different groups like temperature. The microorganisms which grow between 0 to 15 degrees centigrade are known as psychrophils. Microorganisms which grow between 20 to 30 degrees centigrade are known as psychrotrophs. Microorganisms growing between 20 to 40 degrees centigrade are known as mesophils. Most of the disease causing organisms fall into these mesophils. Microorganisms growing from 45 to 80 degrees centigrade are known as thermophils, and microorganisms which grow between 89 to 120 degrees centigrade are known as hyperthermophils. Similarly, based on the requirement of gas, microorganisms are classified into different types. Microorganisms which require greater than 21% of oxygen are known as aerobes. Microorganisms which survive at 10% of oxygen and more than that is toxic to them, such organisms are known as microaerophils. And the rest of the microorganisms which love absence of oxygen are known as anaerobes. These anaerobes are in turn classified into two types: facultative anaerobes and obligate anaerobes. Facultative anaerobes are the organisms which can grow in presence or absence of oxygen, whereas obligate anaerobes they can grow only in absence of oxygen. Oxygen is toxic for these obligate anaerobes. The next type of organisms are capnophils. They grow in presence of carbon dioxide. 5 to 15% of carbon dioxide is required for the growth of capnophils. The next environmental condition which is essential for the growth of the organism is pH. Organisms which love acid, which grow in acidic pH, are known as acidophils. The organisms which grow in alkaline pH are known as alkalinophils. Moving on to the fourth factor of environmental condition, that is osmotic pressure. Organisms which grow in presence of salt are known as halophils, and these halophils are in turn characterized into three types: mild halophils, where the salt concentration is favored between 1 to 6%; medium halophils, the salt concentration is between 6 to 15%, whereas extreme halophils require 15 to 30% of salt concentration. Moving on to the next type, that is osmophils. Osmophils love high sugar content. They grow in jams and jellies. The third type are xerophils. They are grown in dry conditions. So let us sum up today's session. Nutrients are materials that are acquired from the environment and are used for growth and metabolism. Microorganisms vary significantly in the source, chemical form, and amount they need. All microorganisms do not require the same amount of carbon, the same amount of nitrogen or hydrogen or oxygen. It varies from one microorganism to the another organism. Like some microorganisms require vitamins for their growth, while others can synthesize their own growth factors. Macronutrients are needed in larger amount while micronutrients are in small amount, yet both are essential for growth of the microorganism. These macro and micronutrients play an important role in cellular and metabolic processes. Growth factors and environmental factors play an important role in growth of microorganisms, and the knowledge of microbial nutrients is essential to study the functioning of a cell in order to study the genetic concepts or genomic concepts of a cell, and they are also very essential in industrial microbiology, as it's important to identify the ideal nutrients and environmental factors of an industrially important microbe, as the products which are produced by these microbes is often obtained by controlling or limiting the nutrients. For example, in antibiotic production, antibiotics are produced as a secondary metabolites, and these secondary metabolites are produced when the microorganism is exposed to stress or nutritional shock. That is, they are exposed to unfavorable growth conditions, thus it can produce antibiotics. So the knowledge of nutrients towards microorganisms is very essential. Thank you.